junior rep, and his nickname is the Ox.
Was Jeremy Lang sent off for the headbutt?
Yes, but it was
foolish.
No. The replay shows a blatant eye gouge.
Oh, really?
He was gouged like ripped across his eye, and he got up the headbutt.
Okay. So obviously, no. Is there a judiciary as such?
You just move that chair, mate. Just move the chair over to the side on your way through. No, don't worry. Oh, I could see. Oh, no, sorry, I didn't see the arms. Right, there you go. It's stuff in both hands. I just thought he's walking up. Thanks, mate. Well played. Well played. Just made a total...
Cochrane, Red Cochrane, captain.
The bull rider. Red Cochrane, the bull rider, man.
Jacob Lang, Brendan Oak, Andrew Hampson. Impressive lineup. Brett Kelly.
Player to watch in the other side is David Howell. Scored a try in the semi-final last year, scored a try in the final, and this year, as if to carry on as if there'd been no break, scored 2 tries against Red Bend College. He is a Steelers, Illawarra Steelers junior rep. And a very good player. Very good player, David Howell. Oh. Yeah, Michael. He's playing with the Dragons. Has he? Fairfield Patrician brothers, Bryce Poisel. Bryce Poisel. The gates open up. Are the gates open? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Once I got official eye.
And this is Patrician Brothers Fairfield. They last won the Cup 1992 when they defeated Harristown High by 17 points to 16, a return to the glory days this year. They are into the final 8 and in with a shot against the defending champs. Their side today, Talanoa at fullback, Muir and Falone the wings, Russell and Ty the centres. The 5'8", Daniel Russell, he's the captain, Bryce Poisel the half, and the forwards Khalil, McEwen, Roberts, Kennedy, Jeladev and Quinn. And our player to watch in this Patrician Brothers Fairfield side, their number 3, Wade Russell. Don't be surprised if he moves to the pack late in the game. He was man of the match against Hunter Sports High and played for the New South Wales under-17s last year. now the defending champions, St Greg's College. Sean has spoken of that big win over Red Bend College. They swept all before them last year, defeating St Francis Xavier's in the final. Their side for today, Potter at fullback, Peacock and Gilmore the wingers, Foran and Howell the centres, Britton and Lang the halves, and the forwards Short, Hoffman, Kelly, Vag, Eisenhuth and Cochrane, the number 8 and captain of this St Greg side. And the player to watch will pull out for you here out of the St Greg side. Their centre, the number 4, David Howell, scored a try in last year's final and then backed it up with 2 tries in game 1 this year against Red Bend. Very speedy customer.
Yeah, Kev. I gotcha. Yep, some Pat's kicking off.
Jeff Eunice, referee for this one.
All right, stay on, fellas. Don't jump the line.
Semi-final spot up for grabs. The loser has to wait until next year.
First one low.
St Greg's running from right to left for the first half, and it's their front rower, Nathan Vag, with the first hit up of the game.
Waiting.
Sharks junior representative. Plenty of junior reps across both teams. This is Brendan Peacock. 3 defenders there for Patrician Brothers Fairfield. Now Eisenhuth, the hooker, Eisenhuth, the man of the match when they played last against Red Bend College, has got the headgear on today. He's another one who's backing up from last year. And that experience we've seen over the years has really counted. They were a young team last year and was still able to take the title. Kick from inside the 40. Back goes Muir for Fairfield. Here is troubles for Fairfield. This will be a St Gregory's scrum feed. It finished outside the 20, but was touched by Muir.
Yes, well, it's very cruisy out there, as we saw a lot of rain in Sydney today. And this ball just on the deck, needed to just get down on it. Falone, I think it is, and just come off his legs. It's a great opportunity now for St Greg's.
20 metres out. And Lang working this scrum, halfback. He finished that last game not the way he would have wanted. He was given his marching orders in the last minute.
Have a look, make sure.
They're only 15 metres away. Eisenhuth, Lang was slow to his feet. Working to that right side with Kelly. You'll see a very mobile back row playing for St Greg's today. Kelly and Hoffman, the second rows, and this stocky figures the lock forward, Reece Short. Only a metre away from the line. Eisenhuth gets them to the right and fed along with Kelly. 5 metres out from the line, standing in the tackle of Willie Roberts. It's still on for St Greg's. Early pressure on Patrician Brothers Fairfield. Vag, his second hit up. Actually hails from Adelaide. One South Australian border at the college, St Greg's. Last tackle, and this kick looked a little strong off the boot, and that is a let-off for Fairfield Pats. It was watched over the dead ball line by Poisel, and a 20-metre restart.
Yeah, just too much weight on the kick. I think the idea was right. Just need to weight it nicely in the end goal. We've got a repeat set, but Fairfield Pats, great defence there. They were put under pressure. Come up with a tackle when it was needed.
So Fairfield now with Mohamed Khalil. Off the bench last time we saw him and was very good. No surprise to see him in the starting side today. Followed up here by Robert Quinn. Short of halfway. That would be a real lift in confidence, holding out St Greg's early. Now getting used to the football with Kane Kennedy inside the St Greg's half. There was an appeal that St Greg's were a little slow to roll away there. Poisel, he's the man who scored the match-winning try last time out.
Don't go early on the chase markers.
The 6 is the 5'8" and captain. He'll do a lot of the kicking today. Poisel's got this kick. I guess they'll take the result. The set of 6 has got them to the 30-metre line, St Greg's end. Even if the kick wasn't that flash, it's a competent set of 6 for Fairfield Pats.
Yeah, probably not the finish they would have loved. Great bit of pressure there put on from St Greg's in the last tackle. Allowed Poisel still to get the kick away, but it was nowhere near as long as he would have liked. Good start from both teams, though.
Again, Lang with a scrum. Britton. Got to keep it going here for Foran.
Hell! It's worked off.
From far and wide to play for this St Greg's side. A lot of young men who hail from the country, that are boarders at the college, that also excel at rugby league, find themselves in this side. Hoffman put that pass down.
No advantage.
And Fairfield Pats will get their first go of attacking inside the St Greg's half with a full set of 6.
Well, they give themselves a clap there, and that's because they forced that error. Ball going to ground from Ryan Hoffman. Gives them a good opportunity, only 40 metres out.
And Poisel
That'll do
has a
one.
little dart at the line.
Here it is, Gregs.
35 away from the St Greg's try line. Here is Wade Russell.
Help two.
His nickname is Ox.
Off he gets.
He is one strong hombre, this kid, the number 3. And now a dart for Geladev.
That's 3.
15 metres away from the St Greg's line. They're building up here. Fairfield, hit up for McEwen. He carries inside the 10-metre zone now. Vag was called in to finish off the tackle. Rhett was doing the work, Rhett Cochran. Up high, again with Russell on that right side, and that is the last tackle. 5 metres out. And back in field for Poisel. The grubber kick is the option, but Potter's got it covered. He's a mistake-free fullback, Chris Potter. That's what we've come to learn over the last year. He was there at fullback in the final last season. Just 4 heads wide.
Again, another example of a good set of defence there from St Greg's. On that occasion, Jeremy Lang come out of the line and took on Wade Russell. He's the most dangerous man in the Fairfield Pats back line. Chopped him down.
Rhett Cochran. Sean ran headlong into Kane Kennedy. Kennedy came rebounding out of there. Now Reece Short.
Let's work off him.
And 5th tackle for St Greg's. They've got a choice of kickers, and they're using Eisenhuth, the hooker, kicking for the wing of Falone. And Falone, who's the college captain at Fairfield, which is a big honour, is tackled on his own 30-metre line.
That's 2. Don't drag him.
This was the tackle attempted by Kane Kennedy. He ended up on his back.
There's no shortage of players wanting to have a go there for Fairfield Pats. On that occasion, though, Kane Kennedy, bigger man of the 2, come off second best. I don't think that'll stop him.
Wait for it.
On their 40-metre line. And working to the right with Russell again. They've got him well contained early. Vag was across there. It was the halfback Lang. And on the 5th tackle, Fairfield Pats downfield. Potter doesn't get a good bounce there on the 2nd occasion. 10 metres out from his line. Chasers are there as well. First man was Daniel Russell. Finishing off over the top, Khalil, and St Greg's start the set of 6 just outside their 20.
Yeah, good chase there from Fairfield Pats. It's a real sign of your enthusiasm, the kick chase team. It's okay to get a good kick away, and they're putting a fair amount of pressure on St Greg's on the last tackle. But Fairfield Pats, they say the kick's only as good as its chase. The outside back's doing the job on that occasion.
Tense battle early. And dumping that pass off.
That's 4. Up you get, Marcus.
5 metres short of halfway.
Back up centre.
Short the man playing it. Now working the blind side with Lang, looking to ignite something on that right side. Britton trapped in possession. And again we reach the 5th tackle. It's just a little given at the moment. Not a good kick from Lang. This one is going to go, no, not out on the full, and has come into contact with Falone. Well, this is an interesting one. Is he playing at the ball through retreating? Is what you have to decide here. He says a Fairfield Pats feed. Well, could have sworn it's come into contact with his chest here. They got it right.
They got it right, okay, yep. He was on the outside of the touchline when the ball got to him eventually. I was a little concerned, though, that initial hit in the chest. But these days the rules, if you don't play at it, then you're not penalised. He certainly wasn't playing at it.
I'll try and get myself out of it. If he was in the field of play and it came into contact with his chest, would you have said out off Fairfield, or would you say he's not playing it?
Well, I'd say he wasn't playing it. He was retreating, Vossi. I think he got it right the first time.
So Fairfield Pats back in field with McEwen. St Greg's defence very solid. We get to see a clean line break. He's lumbering forward as Kennedy. Just inside the St Greg's half. A difficult pass there for Poisel to pull in. Russell turns an inside pass for Khalil. Not a great deal of intensity in this set of 6 from Fairfield. Kick on the end of it needs to be good from Daniel Russell. He's got St Greg's pinned back towards the goal line. The chase is not quite one straight line. Poisel sprinted through and he's made the tackle though, so only one man needed to do the job. In fact, Talanoa was the man who eventually made the tackle. St Greg's on their own 20. Away with Peacock.
Held 3.
26 points to 4. Winners over Red Bend College of Forbes. Had a few close matches last year, but
Held, that's 4.
never appear to panic the St Gregory side. They're well coached. They've got a real confidence in their own ability. I guess you've got to say the same about Fairfield, and there's some big defence from Fairfield. They backed themselves in the last game, Fairfield, down 16-0, coming back to win.
Inside the 40.
Nice tackle, and St Greg's a kick from referee Eunice inside the 40. Newer is with it.
Held 1. Up and square.
Well, this game's developing into a real arm wrestle, isn't it? Both sides fairly conservative, you'd have to say, early on.
That's 2.
And given the conditions out there, very greasy, the ball handling's been very good. You would expect a few loose passes and some drop ball, but on the highest standard so far.
Right on halfway. And infield again for Kennedy. Fence has got his number.
That's 4. Keep coming, head kick.
He's originally from Picton. Kennedy tips the scales at 110 kilos. And now Poisel, risky ball there for Russell. Back for Poisel. Oh, gee, the number 6 did well, Daniel Russell.
This line. He
was hit the moment he gathered the ball in. And he never really had full control, but had the presence of mind to palm it off. Now Russell's the man who's kicked. And St Gregory says pressure here. Potter can't get to the ball. It's play on for Fairfield. And Poisel is with it. 15 metres from the line. Full set of 6 here.
Keep coming, 9. Keep coming, 9.
And to the right they come with Wade Russell. Taking them on. Good low tackle from Potter. And now Muir from dummy half.
Held 3.
Only a couple of metres short of the line. Best chance of the match now for Fairfield. Across it comes and through the legs of McEwen. It is play on with Russell. That is Daniel Russell, the captain.
That's 4.
Directly in front of the posts of St Greg's. McEwen the dummy half. And with Poisel. Again, it's been put down by Mahana Tai. Look, a hard ball. That will be an error against Patrician Brothers Fairfield. So tight opening to this one. No score, the first quarter final.
Square it up before you put it in, face the scrum, and then you put it in. Let's go. That's better.
Back with the action in the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Cup. No score. St Gregory's College of Campbelltown running from right to left against Patrician Brothers Fairfield. Great rivals. Many matches played over the years, many big games. Did actually clash back in the 83 final, which was a victory to Fairfield. Good completion rate from both teams to start this game, despite some bone-crunching defence like that tackle then from the second row McEwen.
That'll do him, 4. Roll off.
Eisenhuth will play
No,
that.
you came back over the top.
Well, Eunice very quick to rule on a second tackle there on Eisenhuth. Little chance here for St Greg's.
As I said, the game's been very even up until this point, and Jeff Eunice not having to get involved at all virtually with the blowing of the whistle. Really give the advantage to St Greg's here. Penalty, and then play about 33 metres out. Let's see what they got in attack.
Nathan Bagg is the player who will cut it up. He's 103 kilos. We gave you the stat last time round when we saw him in season 2000. He tipped the scales at 120. He's done a lot of training. Ball comes across for Peacock. Well handled by the Fairfield defence. Taylor was over the top. Now Greggs, they probe inside the 20.
That's 3. Clear him.
Only 5 metres away from the line. Great dart from Britain. And now close to the post, the power play with Cochrane. Cochrane has got in goal, but he's held up. It'll be a scrum, 10 out.
Oh, that's great defence there from Fairfield, Pats, on 2 accounts. First of all, we saw Wesley Talanoa make a try-saving tackle here. We just see Britton slice through and put his foot on the accelerator. And just a last-ditch attempted tackle, which was successful. And then the next one to hold him up and twist him over, Rhett Cochrane. Very difficult from that situation. Good work to Fairfield, Pats.
Face it again.
No let up in pressure. St Greg's win the scrum, and Hoffman playing locked forward at that scrum and breaking away with the ball. Short was dummy half. And away for Lang. Attacking the left side. Howe, that is great defence. We said they're the players to watch. Russell and Howe, and they meet head on there, the two centres. St Huthan again. What a tackle. Oh, this is World Championship Wrestling stuff. It was Russell again. And to the right. St Greg's keeping it alive with Kelly. There's an overlap here. Hoffman straightens up for St Greg's. Just a couple of metres short of the try line. Still a chance. And now from dummy half, that ball was almost lost. Middle out. Plays it. Hoffman, blindside shot. Looking at a changeover. It's play on though for Fairfield. Well, I don't really think there was a great advantage there.
Fairfield's gone in the touch. We've got the scrum here.
Well, he said the ball went back. He's 100% right, Eunice. Watch these tackles from Russell. This is technically as good as it gets. And then consecutive tackles as well. Russell. Great shots.
Well, how good is he? I'll tell you what, every player in that's St Greg's team now, they're looking. Where is Road Russell? They don't want to run at him. I don't blame them.
10 metres out and a third consecutive set for St Greg's. Real finals football this. Only 12 metres away, and that time Russell a little bit more timid in defence. Thankfully so, Britton, the player tackled.
That's two.
Short's only 5 metres from the line.
Stand up.
It's a dummy half. They're like twins except for the headgear, the 9 and 13 for St Greg's. Off balance there was Cochrane. He cops the treatment as well. Eisenhuth the dart from dummy half. A try from a similar position in the final last year. Back in field with Fang. They're trying these power plays with the forwards, and the Fairfield Patrician brothers defenders more than equal to the task. Fifth tackle. St Greg's to the left with Lang. Let's try the kick. Poisel's got it covered up. That's wonderful stuff from Fairfield Patrician brothers.
Well, it's that sort of defence that wins your games, can even win your competitions. Plenty of occasions there where Fairfield Pats could have allowed St Greg's in, but last-ditch tackles at the end just preventing them. It's got to give them a great deal of confidence. Here's one of them, Nathan Vag. They don't come any bigger or stronger. They're able to hold him up. All hands on deck. Here's a little kick. Poisel got past him the first time. He wasn't going to let it go the second time. Good work, Fairfield Pats. And I'll tell you what, good work from St Greg's as well. It's a high-quality game.
No score as yet in this first quarter final, and the kick downfield from Daniel Russell. St Greg's are left scratching their heads. What are we going to do to break this line?
Held one,
Well,
not
they
to
held
get
up 15
19.
inside his own half. And away with Peacock.
Held two.
Did score a couple of
Let's let
long-range
off him, skipper.
tries against Forbes, against Red Bend last round. Forward from dummy half from Eisenhuth. And the touch judge has picked it up, passed it on to the referee.
Forward passes here.
We will break in this first quarter final. No score. Fairfield Pats and St Greg's.
Don't break early, second and lock. Wait there, wait there. Walk in, Fairfield. Bring it up, fellas, I'm blowing it. Back it up, Greggs. Just bend and hold, bend and hold. Hold there,
Long
Greggs,
Nutri-Grain
hold.
Cup coming to you from the Sydney Football Stadium. Fairfield Patrician brothers, the two Blues in possession.
Play on.
41 metres away, now inside the 40.
Held one.
They've had to withstand a great deal of pressure over the last 5 or 6 minutes. Now they get an opportunity of their own, and often this is where a side will crack.
Held two.
Well, it's been awesome Greg's in attack, hasn't it?
Line.
The pressure that Fairfield Pats have had to endure, it's quite unbelievable. Let's just see whether St Greg's have got the same sort of determination in defence.
Sure, their
Second
coach
effort,
Frank
10.
Iamma, we saw
Second
him on
effort.
screen, plenty of
Just
pride
clear.
with what has been
Second
provided
effort.
by his charges so far. Penalty 25 metres out. It's certainly within kicking range, and they will attempt to take the two with Daniel Russell, their captain, and 5'8".
Well, I understand the dilemma they went through there, whether to take the kick or to apply the pressure, because they haven't had many opportunities down here. I could tell they were sensing, look, if we can just apply the similar pressure to what's been put on us, we really test St Greg's, but I suppose there's 2 points on the offering. It's going to be a very tight game.
This is where the problem started for St Greg's in this last little period. The pass at a dummy half, definitely forward to Brendan Oak from the dummy half. And then the penalty for the second tackle, which enables Patrician brothers Fairfield to go for goal. Nathan Vag, the man penalised.
Fair enough too. And referee Jeff Eunice, I think he's had a pretty good game. You've hardly noticed him, but when he has blown the whistle, it's been justified on every occasion.
captain has the goal kicking duties. 3 from 3 against Hunter Sports High. That included the match-winning goal. And this first kick from 25 metres out. 4 first points, successful. Fairfield, their noses just in front. 2-0 Fairfield Pats over St Gregory's College of Campbelltown.
On the run. Now early marks.
Well, those who haven't liked the landslide scorelines in the NRL lately, all this year as a matter of fact, I'm sure you're enjoying this game. A 2-0 battle. Here's a problem for Fairfield from the kickoff. Slipped over like it was some sort of dance routine.
You're
Ball
right.
got through.
You're right, Vossi. I'm thoroughly enjoying this game, and you're right. No tries being scored. Only 2 points. Flies in the face of those that say more tries leads to a better game.
We change players for Fairfield. A hit up. 15 metres out from his line. Jeladev. The starting side last time out. But he's there again, and he was a member of the squad last year for Fairfield. Kennedy has worked hard in this game. Big bloke, thrown back that time.
Square up, Whitey.
Short, Eisenhuth and Vag in the tackle. They're like solicitors. And now Fairfield Pats attacking to the right. Russell has to rush a kick there. He does pretty well on the bounce to Potter. 30 metres out from his own line. We're talking about Wade Russell too, recently selected for the Australian Schoolboys. Big honour for him. After the National Championships in Perth. Simon Huntley was at those championships in Perth as coach of the New South Wales Combined Catholic Colleges side. They were beaten by Queensland in the final. So Greg's are 40 metres away from the line. Eisenhuth going from that point. He's a good dummy half, this kid. And Eisenhuth, 30 metres from the line. Britton feeds along for Lang, alternating between first and second receiver. Sliding into the tackle is Oak. He's lost the ball there, but gets the penalty.
Called it loud and clear. Walk away, 12.
On the last tackle.
Away,
Almost a headbutt there
Walk away.
from Grant McEwen.
Walk away.
A little silly.
Penalties here. Penalties here.
Excellent touch judge coming in.
I've given the call. Penalties here. It's gone for the second push.
Well, I can understand the frustration there from Fairfield Pats. St Greg's player there, Brendan Oak, called to play it. For mine, he tried to get up. He was trying to get up and advance the football. Fairfield Pats coming in to prevent that, in the end conceding the penalty.
Here goes to Greggs. They still await the first try in the match. Lang's with it. On the spin. Jeladev's got him. 12 metres out. The majority of football inside the 20 has been played inside the Fairfield 20. And they've defended in grand style. Eisenhuth with Britton, little stutter there as he got to the line. Russell able to shut him down over the top. And creep ever so close. And with Potter, the fullback. Potter gets to the goal line, and again, Fairfield Patrician brothers, 3 and 4 in the tackle. It is tremendous to watch. Another shot from St Greg's, and that's the last tackle yet again. Lang with the ball, a grubber kick. Ricochet there to a man offside off Talanoa. Unfortunate for Fairfield.
Well, they can't take a trick, Fairfield Pats. Again, defended for 5 tackles superbly. The kick was put in. They blocked it from going on the in goal and then just ricocheted into the hands of another Fairfield Pats player, Willie Roberts. He's the man you see dirty on himself.
I might have taken the tap here. I know it's an easy 2, but maybe just one more shot at them.
Well, you got to say to yourself, surely they can't hold us out forever. I mean, St Greg's, they've thrown everything at them, bar the kitchen sink. But Fairfield Pats committed in defence. I haven't seen a performance like it from a team this year.
Saw the emotions there, Willie Roberts. He done the right thing, Willie. Don't worry about that. Nothing much he could do. He had to claim the ball. Conceded the penalty. And now St Greg's to square up. 5'8" Chris Britton from 12 metres out, and for a 2-all scoreline. You just don't hear of it anymore in these modern days. 2-all, Fairfield Pats against St Gregory's College Campbelltown.
Time to run.
Good to see both teams supported too here today. Greggs and Fairfield, they always bring their army with them. Plenty vocal as well. And a charge up on Vag. 15 metres away from their own line. Peacock.
That's
A few runs. The St Gregory's winger. All of them have been centre field, looking for work. Now Cochran has lost the ball. Some bruising defence.
Got a 0.
Fairfield come up with it, 35 metres out. Some of the best defence I think I've seen in a schoolboy match. Well, I can't think how long.
Well, you've got to wonder what that does to your condition, how much gas you actually lose. Let's hope they've got something left for the second half.
Well, an intriguing first half. Absorbing struggle between two of the very best rugby league schools. No tries, just a goal apiece. First quarter final of the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Cup. We will break at 2-all, Fairfield Pats and St Gregory's Campbelltown.
I'm pacing myself for the last 15 minutes of the half, which isn't there. I'm missing the run at all. Had my head. When I used to run frenetically, I used to get about 17 times the number of shots though, because you'd always be there. I mean, if you had a team that was running it to your side. Some days you get a team that's running it.
Chiefs got 11. Yeah, so Ziggy Niscott's diary. I've got to say, Dolt, what I'd cut so far was just, it was so weird. Zoom into his face and all these shots of him and close-ups of his moustache as he's talking. And the upside is... Hello, yes, Brian. Okay. Line breaks completions.
Yeah, got you, Kevin. Get more sand.
It might be okay.
Right, stay on.
Welcome back to the Sydney Football Stadium. This first quarter final of the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Cup. A first half scoreline of 2-2. And the first half highlighted by some superb defence
That's one.
by Fairfield Patrician brothers inside their own 20.
That's two. Let's clean.
Carry it on, and somewhere along the track someone has to come up with a 4-pointer, one would think. There's Willie Roberts. Back to the 30, only the one line break in that first half. The completion rate of both teams fell away a little bit just towards the end of the half. But still pretty good in the wet conditions. Russell runs in. He did come into his own last time.
Don't go early. Wait
Come into his own in the second half against Hunter Sports High. Daniel Russell, no relation, Daniel and Wade. That kick not deep. A little rush back for some Gregs. Before the match you were thinking some Gregs were slight favourites, Sean. What about now?
Well, geez, they've impressed me, Fairfield Pats. And going on those stats too, given the amount of ball they've had, I'm amazed that they've been able to complete 8 of their 11 opportunities in their sets. You can't quite pick it up on the vision, but the rain started to settle in here. Very greasy out there. Nearly fell over myself when I was checking their field condition just before the game. So they're doing quite well for themselves, Fairfield Pats.
It's a hell of a story, Sean.
Out there, headgear.
He wasn't wearing boots though. The leather soles.
Nathan Vag. He's like the groundsman, Sean Garlick, checking for surface water. Jeremy Lang's bomb. He's well handled there by Talanoa at the back, and now Wesley goes for a run.
Don't drag him. That's
25 metres out from his own line.
Yeah!
Just wondering how Fairfield would pull up from that first half, having to do all that defence, but they're doing it right at the moment.
Well, Wade Russell got this run started linking up with Daniel Russell, and now Mahana Tai.
That's
Russell prepared to cover almost the width of the field. And Grant McEwen, big enough to play in the front row, back to halfway for Fairfield. 2 points all. And Poisel.
You'd be surprised how much it takes out of you when you're defending on your line for a long time. The nervous energy you use up.
Well, Poisel's got a chance here for Fairfield. A dart and a dummy, and tackled 15 metres out from the line, tackle number 5. Daniel Russell, the kick through, doesn't get to the in goal, but now the tackle on Foran will mean a line dropout.
Goal line dropout.
Well, great defence in attack that time, you've got to say, from Fairfield, and Willie Roberts leading the charge.
Oh, it's been great football, and it all came from Poisel here. A little bit of a dummy and a jink. Missed tackle, and he sliced through, throws another little dummy. He's been very dangerous for them today. Give them a quick play of the ball. They've got to restart, which is the next best thing to scoring.
Line dropout has found open spaces. Russell comes back, Daniel Russell. 25 metres from the line. Sort of right, linking up there with Khalil.
If you get 12.
It's just a little slow. They're warming to the challenge now.
That's
McEwen.
wide centre. Keep coming, keep coming.
Around in the tackle. That pass very flat out of dummy half for Russell. Wade Russell, a steamroller in high gear, high speed for the try. The first one of the match. It is 6 points to 2.
Well, there we go. I was wondering, have St Greg's got the medal to defend a couple of sets on end, as Fairfield Pats did in the first half. It was very simple, just went to the right side of the ruck, and steaming on it was Wade Russell. We've seen him in defence so far this game. He's been devastating, and here he is in attack. Too strong, too fast, and too determined. And he's left one in his wake. I think it's Reese Short, yep. The advice would be not get into the way of Wade Russell when he's travelling at that speed. What a confidence builder it is for Fairfield Pats. They haven't been down St Greg's Eden very often. They come away with points in the second set.
This young man you see on screen, Daniel Russell, it's his 4th year in this squad. Started playing in the open side when he was in year 9. Beside a 6-point lead. Biggest margin of the match. Fairfield Pats growing in confidence. 8 points to 2 over St Gregory's College, Campbelltown.
Don't jump the line.
It is over to the defending champions now. Time for them to return serve.
That's what it's been like, Bossy. Bit of a baseline rally. St Greg's supporters not giving up on them.
That's 2.
We've got plenty to cheer about recently.
Tackle, let's work off now.
We'll play it. Dragons junior rep, the 13 for Fairfield Pats.
Marker way early. Way early, marker. Way early.
Taking off. Penalty for Fairfield Pats.
Way early.
Their replacement, John Ellis, just getting too keen. in there at marker, wanting to lift his team. Gets out from dummy half. I used to love doing it myself. He had to get a bit of a start.
Thanks, Mitch. Have a look for him.
Big Roberts just jumped the gun.
Inside their 30. And with Robert
Held
Quinn.
one. Up you get and square.
A tackle there for St Greg's. Eisenhuth was in there. The man low was John Ellis.
Held two.
Grant McEwen.
Keep coming. Not early.
Well, they're probably not some of the flashiest forwards we'll see in Fairfield Pats, but workmanlike is the best description. A force ball there.
Advantage. First one went here. First one went
Will
here.
get the scrum feed.
Second one right there.
Well, in games that are as tight as this one, it's these little errors that can just give the other team the opportunity. We haven't seen it so far from Fairfield Pats. You would think being in front too, they're likely to be a little more conservative, but not on that time.
Chris Britton across field, finding Pat Foran. Tackle 45 metres away from the line. So St Greg's down by 6 points.
That's two.
You get to this sort of situation and you sort of got some sense there could be a count back here. Ball offloaded there by Eisenhuth and intercepted by Willie Roberts. The Bulldozers coming up on the right spot, Willie. First half he was pinged offside close to his line.
Second.
That time, legitimate intercept. Fairfield Pats outside their 20.
Held.
Nothing doing there for Ross Falone. Play the ball. Khalil.
Don't go early. Don't go early.
Picking up the tackles in this set, Fairfield Pats, without doing a great deal. Russell, almost a shepherd there. He's kicked downfield. First bounce to Chris Potter.
It's been like a game of chess, hasn't it? An absorbing encounter. I'm really enjoying this game. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just South being back in the competition. But what a game it's been. Low scoring. It's got all the ingredients.
He comes with his checkbook too, the football manager for the Rabbitohs. He's straight down to the rooms after the match. Who are you with, kid?
Can you not there?
Presses the flesh. Brendan Oak. He's 16 years of age in the back row for St Greg's, 35 metres away from the line. Lang and Britton not at full speed. Now decides to run, accelerates, and the ball inside is put down by his halfback.
Another 0.
The 6 and the 7.
It's those opportunities you feel. Oh, have we just seen a mistake coming there from Matthew Muir?
0 there.
It's those little opportunities that you expect are going to play a big role in the outcome of this game.
Held one. Let's go, Skipper, make the
Hal
effort on the 10.
was a moving target there, thankfully, because Quinn was coming through
Held
at
two.
great speed.
Here it is again. Let's go.
5
17.
metres from the line. St Gregory's College, Campbelltown in possession, but trailing by 6. With it is Britton. Links up there with Foran.
Held
Kula,
three.
which they tell me is out Dunny Dewey. Pat Foran. Dummy half is Eisenhuth. The inside pass for Renton. He's only 5 metres from the line. Been a while since St Greg's have been in this position. Eisenhuth to the left with Lang. Little dart. Double pump. Finds a man on his outside and Oak is cut down. No surprise to see Russell involved in the tackle. Poisel was low. Now blindside. There's a chance for St Greg's. It'll be the referee's call on this one. He says try. I think it's David Howell who has got it for St Greg's. It is their centre, their try-scoring specialist. They've found him. 8-6.
Well, Jeff Eunice wasted no time, and it came a result of this little lost ball from Matthew Muir. I said it was going to be missed opportunities. In this case, it was a case of taking theirs. A little kick put through. The chase was on. Wade Russell then went down for it. Claims he grounded it too, all appealing to the referee. Jeff Eunice didn't have the luxury of the video ref. Ooh, it was a hard call, but he made it. The records will say that David Howe, 4-pointer.
Yeah, wait what he said.
What a kick for Chris Britton to square the scores from 5 metres in from touch. Unsuccessful. 2-point ball game. First quarter final, and Fairfield Patrician brothers, they lead 8-6.
Let's work on this 10 out wide, make sure we come all the way. Time to run.
Fairfield Patrician brothers restart play. And their 5'8" Daniel Russell by 2 points.
Hell! Wait. Make sure
Still
stick
plenty
your
of
hole.
time in the match. Time for more than just the one score.
Hell
But
two.
such has been the game, you'd almost be prepared to say next scorer wins here. They've detected a drop ball here. There's plenty of feeling out there. Sudden death football in the quarterfinals.
Well, again, it's the defence of Fairfield Pats. And even with that try, they still haven't been broken. The line was actually scored from a kick, which gives you a great deal of confidence. They would have been talking behind the line then and saying, look, they're still not able to get through us. And they've converted it with the very next set into a... Oh, was that a scrum against the feed?
Well, it ends up that way for St Gregory's.
Kick it off, skipper, square.
Peacock will breathe a sigh of relief. St Gregory's come away with the ball.
Held there, that's two.
Pat Foran, we've had everything today. A 2-all score line, then a push from the scrum, and it's one against the feed.
Held three. Right across.
So St Greg's 5 metres inside their half. Lang just delivering the short pass, but the defence,
Held four.
it's been a solid wall. It took a kick through to break it. Again, Eisenhuth, and there is some bone-jarring defence. Russell comes in on Brandon Oak. And St Greg's have a kick from 40 metres out.
Centre's right.
Russell is the terminator here. There's a tough one for Talanoa. I don't think he got a hand to it. Now it's dropped by Falone. It will be a line dropout.
Well, Talanoa did get a hand to it, I think, and that put then pressure on Falone to get back and recover. Here's the hit from Russell. How many of these has he got in him in one game? Did he get a hand to it? I'm sure Falone thought he did. That's why he raced back to get it. Otherwise, it would have been going over the dead ball line. It's going to go down to the wire, this one.
Stay behind the line.
Is this a test of nerve or what? Now it's on Fairfield Pats again, even though they lead by 2. Russell's line dropout, 40 metres away from the Fairfield line. St Greg's mount another challenge. They trail 8 points to 6.
That's two.
They're yet to taste the lead in this game. Eisenhuth. Infielder comes with Ellis. He's only 15 metres from the line. This Fairfield defence that was so good in the first half has to do it again. The St Greg's come wide. They've lost it. Falone's got a chance to run away and runs over the sideline. Great cover defence.
Well, that's a bad mistake by Falone. I don't like criticising players at this level, but he had to do anything but run out. Anything but. Picks the ball up. Great opportunity. Probably got a little excited when he saw nobody in front of him, but he had to come in here. Had to come in. Greasy conditions. Just makes it so difficult to stay in. Good tackle though by St Greg's.
Ball's gone.
Create another sniff for St Greg's. Foran takes the first tackle, was looking for that quick play the ball. Be careful not to plant the ball down. It's just a little too quick.
Coming six.
Cochrane there, only 20 metres away from the line. Lang is scheming, but there's Fairfield defence is there again.
Play six.
They're muscling up at every opportunity, that time on Hoffman. Lang, blindside, 10 metres out, another chance for Howell, he's over to score. His second try, his second consecutive double in this competition. David Howell is putting side in front, 10 points to 8.
Well, it's one thing about David Howell, he can find the line. He come onto it like a bullet. But Lang just got across, got to the line, had a bit of a runner on the inside, and it was Howell bounced off his chest. A desperate attempt from Grant McEwen, but Howell was just going too fast. a bit of work to do even when he was confronted by McEwen. Bit short there, had to reach over. Certainly got it down.
This the reaction from the St Greg's students. First time in front in the match. Metres out, and again it's over to Chris Britton. He's 10 metres in from touch, missed with his last one, hasn't hit this one at all well. He's landed only 1 from 3. His team is in front by 2. 10-8 in this first quarter final. Jeladev restarts play right down the middle, taken on the full. Back comes Nathan Vag, picks up speed as he almost gets back to the 30-metre line.
Stand up now.
Greg's side, the defending champions, they're in search of their 10th cup final win. If they are to make it through to the decider this year, what a record. Today playing the team that has won the cup 6 times. No prizes for guessing who made the tackle there. Well, there is actually. It wasn't Russell. It was Ben Weir. But there's no prizes anyway.
There's no prizes. But it was in the same mould as Wade Russell. He's obviously looking at what he's been doing, and I can do that too.
Thanks for covering for me, Sean. What we used to show here. 30 metres away. Eisenhuth. The ball has gone conservatively 15 metres forward.
No advantage. 5th tackle.
And it was the last tackle. A call of changeover.
Well, Eisenhuth, he sensed the opportunity down the short side. The defence just got to him sooner than he would have liked. Tried to get the ball over the top. Just floated forward. And conservatively, yes, probably 15 metres.
And Kennedy will play it inside the 30. Jeladev. Players have climbed in this second half, but slippery conditions and some massive defence. Some great shots from both teams have attributed to that. Spoisel on the 40-metre line for Fairfield Packs. Trailing by 10 points to 8. Loser eliminated. Brent McEwen short of halfway. Play the balls are slow for Fairfield Packs. Greggs might be running a very fine line here. Wade Russell plays it, the try scorer for Fairfield. Back for Daniel Russell. His kick. Chases onside. Well taken by Todd Renton. Sliding in.
It was well taken by Renton, but probably not the kick Fairfield Pats needed. Whoa. Hang on a minute.
Well, this is not what we wanted in this game. It's been such a great contest.
Once you put him into a position where he's going to hit the head on the ground first, it's a penalty. Don't lift him like that.
Mohamed Khalil. And yeah, that's a dangerous tackle. And it was all the doing of the lock forward. He had no assist there in the upending motion. In the meantime, St Greg's are back on their own 40-metre line. Well handled by the referee too, Jeff Eunice. Steps straight in. Trouble here for Fairfield. They're down 1. Left back near halfway. And it is Ben Weir. St Greg's have lost the ball 30 metres out.
Fairfield ball.
Fairfield was sweating on that mistake.
Hold it there. We've got 2 trainers calling out to me. Back it up.
I'm pretty sure it is Ben Weir. We were just wrapping a short time ago for a big tackle.
He doesn't look well. Yeah, just went in awkwardly. Got a knock on the head, I think. Never feel very good after that. He's a tough customer. As they all are. The Fairfield Pats boys really muscled up in defence.
go closer. 9 and 8, go right up there. All right.
So they're back with it 30 metres from their line, Fairfield Pats.
That's 3, not only 9.
And away running with Jeladev.
That's 4. Up again.
Now St Greg's aiming up in defence. The offloads have come to a halt as Kane Kennedy is tackled 5 short of halfway. There's one man low, one high in every tackle. The ball is wrapped up. Russell, well, that's an interesting choice of kick. He may get lucky on it. It's now towed through from Willie Roberts.
Last tackle wasn't played at.
It ends up a bit of a mess for Fairfield Pats.
We heard Jeff Eunice, got it right too. Last tackle, it wasn't played at. But they just got themselves in a bit of trouble there. Fairfield Pats had to kick under pressure and really needed a deep one. Forced St Greg's out of their end.
10 points to 8 that scoreline. St Greg's, only time they've been in front in the match. Vag. A strong hit up by this young front rower. 38 metres away from the line. Final 3 minutes of the contest. And some quick hands required. Rhett Cochran turning and passing. Urged on by their fans. St Greg's, the bomb comes from the back, means some of these chasers are offside. In fact, I dare say all of them are offside. It bounces down. Referee hasn't pulled it up yet. Well, he's head knocked forward. I don't see how 5 or 6 of those players weren't offside.
Yep.
Passing a long way back to put up a bomb.
It's here.
Well, they are. For mine, every one of them's offside. And they shouldn't be coming within the 10.
In particular, the first man who got there, David Howell, he was 1 or 2 metres offside. Fairfield Pats are with the ball. Just outside their 40-metre line. They trail by 2. Mahana Tai, a little weaving run at a dummy half. They're at the right end now of the field. Inside St Greg's half. Russell, great tackle. It was Eisenhuth low, the 2 captains there. Now with the ball, Poisel, inside pass. They will look for Wade Russell if they get close enough. Their big centre who scored the first try, but this is the 5th tackle. It might be the last chance they have the ball in their hands. Daniel Russell's bomb, they're onside. Potter diffuses it. And tackled by Mahana Tai.
Well, that's the 3rd time they probably haven't come up with a great 6 tackle option. The kicks have been quite poor, and that may rue their end of their sets at the end of this game.
Well, here is an error.
Attempt to rake it out. You've lost it forward.
No, but he's ruled against Fairfield Patrician brothers here. The ruling is clear from Jeff Eunice. There's a stripping of the football here, and there is, but it has travelled forward. In the end, he probably could have said play on for St Greg's, to be honest. And what it has done is soak up time to such an extent that Fairfield Pats mightn't see the football again.
The lock is held.
End of a very untidy scrum. St Greg's have come up with a ball. They can just about play out time, St Greg's, in this first quarter final. We have seen 2 very talented centres on show here. Wade Russell for Fairfield Pats, and that man playing the ball, David Howell. 10-8 St Greg's lead. Now, we said in the first half, if you like those landslide contests in the NRL, you've got great enjoyment out of this contest. 2 tries to 1, a nail-biter all the way through. Todd Renton will play it. Final 20 seconds. For it. 25 metres from the line. They're about to advance to the final 4. That's all that's required there. The kick over the sideline. And the clock will count down.
Well, Houston, he's had a very good game. Has had his opposition as well. Jeladev. But St Greg's might not have time to pack the scrum.
And the defending champions have come through one heck of a contest. They survive. They are through to the semi-finals, defeating a gallant, a spirited Fairfield Patrician brothers side by 10 points to 8. It was 2 tries to 1. Marvellous contest. But St Gregory's College of Campbelltown remain on track to defend their title. And our player of the match, And our player of the match, this Parramatta Junior representative on the losing side today, but what a game he had. Wade Russell, the centre for Fairfield Patrician Brothers. Well, we hope this is what we've got to look forward to in the weeks ahead. As we count down to the Nutri-Grain final, we're going to see more of St Gregory's College of Campbelltown. That's all for today. St Greg's the winners, 10 points to 8 over Fairfield. We'll see you next week. Goals here. What do they make a mistake with the